Welcome to the Retro Blood.
Oh, welcome back, everybody, to the Retro Blood. As we continue our third annual It Came from Outer Space month, talking the creatures that roam the outer space, talking these creatures that will invade your body, will invade your soul, will invade your mind, to take over and conquer, because that's what they do. Up next, if y'all like a space team who doesn't take precautions by fixing radios and one of them gets chopped off the foot to escape. If y'all like crew members confused about their job duties, if y'all like a crazy blonde who gets injected with the oh so sweet alien nuclear cyborg creature semen, and then she goes on a rampage to kill and devour each humanoid to give birth to some plain plastic alien figure things, then this is the review for you, brother, because the Retro Blood is talking all about Horror Planet, aka Inseminoid.
Inseminoid, yes.
Inseminoid. I fucked that one up. J.H. Alison, right. James Kline. What's happening, everybody? Alison, how's your trip to the planet? Going out there, getting your suit ripped up, dying, then seeing your girl or your something get impregnated by an alien semen creature, and then killing her at the end, but then you die also too by the kids.
It's been fine.
Yeah. All right.
I will say, during the show, I may have some contradictory opinions.
Okay.
Because at some points in this movie, I loved it, and at some points in the movie, I hated it.
Yeah, I feel that.
So I'm not sure how I'll actually come out on this on the end. But, I mean, it's been fine. I thought it was an enjoyable movie. I actually watched it twice.
There you go. I thought it was fun. I got a question for you, though, when you're ready.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
So, was there, like, a big, like, fetish in, like, the early 1990s for having monsters have sex with a bunch of women? Because, like, literally the last 3 movies we've done all had monster sex on it. Or alien monster creature sex.
You mean in the early 80s?
Yeah, like all these movies were in the early 80s that we did. Galaxy of Terror, Forbidden World, Horror Planet, and they all had sexual relations with alien creatures. Was there like some sort of fetish in the early 80s I didn't know about or something?
I think in a way that's just sort of like, maybe not a fetish, but like it's a thing that men who write movies think about in a way.
Yes.
Like, I think it's almost like an exploitation thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say, but I think that, that's like a thing that, let's have a sex scene with a monster.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, and actually this movie reminded me of this film a little bit, but like kind of going all the way back to Rosemary's Baby. It's not an alien but it's like a devil monster that, and her, that she may or may not have had sex with and her vision or whatever. And the scene where the blonde gets impregnated in this movie reminded me a lot of that scene in Rosemary's Baby, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. The plastic. So this is probably going to piss some people off, especially if we have any British listeners. And I don't intend to say it this way.
Yeah.
I love the British.
Oh yeah.
I loved all my, the times I've been in the UK. I loved it. I love the country. I love their media output.
Yeah.
But there's a thing about British science fiction that kind of annoys me in a way.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about it as we go through this. But like, there's a world of difference between this low budget movie and the two we watched before this.
Mm-hmm.
Like the two before this to me looked like they were shot on these people looked like they are on a spaceship or a space station or something. Here in this movie, for the most part, they just looked like they're in a room.
Yeah, a lot of the scenes were
it could have been
that.
shot. Yeah, it looked like it could have been shot at a community college or something.
I do appreciate the fish camera for the one scene at the
that was kind of cool. Yeah, that was kind of cool.
I think you don't see that a lot. But I agree with you, man. I think the British, I think they're more for like historical pieces.
Yeah, and I mean, they make good horror films.
Yeah.
I mean, they're making some really good horror movies right now, but there's just something about the way British science fiction looks that I don't care for. Like all the characters, like in this movie, for the most part, are wearing comfortable clothes. Like they don't look like they're wearing space outfits; they're just wearing sweaters and pants.
Yeah.
Kind of like it reminded me of a British show called Space 1999, which came out, I believe, in the late 70s, if I'm not mistaken. But like instead of like wearing like Star Trek type uniforms, they're all just wearing like kind of regular suits or something. Holy crap, you falling apart there.
I almost dropped my water, all right.
But yeah, I mean,
Turbulence.
it's just something that I don't care for, but it's just a stylistic choice that they made, and that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk all about it, but yeah, I mean, this one, like, it was fun, but I think I had a little bit more excitement for the last two that we did, Forbidden World and Galaxy of Terror. But this one, for what it was, I thought it had some pretty good scenes to it. I did think some of the gore scenes were pretty good. So I thought some of it was pretty good. We'll break it all down though. So let's get into the portion of the podcast where we talk about who booked this shit. All right. Inseminoid, aka Horror Planet in the United States. So basically it was Inseminoid everywhere. Even the one I watched said it on there. But
yeah.
What?
No, go ahead.
All right. And basically in Horror Planet was the American release of it.
Yeah, and I remember last week I said that I wasn't familiar with this movie, but I am, because I knew it as Inseminoid.
Yeah.
I was not. I didn't put two and two together. But the funny thing is, I watched it on Tubi, which I assume you did too.
Yeah.
So if you watch, there's a Horror Planet version and an Inseminoid version, but they're both the same. They're both the same thing.
Yeah.
Like when I clicked Horror Planet, when the title came up, it said Inseminoid.
Yeah.
And then I watched the Inseminoid version, and it still said Inseminoid. And I'm pretty sure it's the same print, even though it says that the one that's listed as Inseminoid is 1 minute shorter.
Yeah.
But I couldn't really see any difference in it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the same thing.
So this one was a obviously British science fiction film, and it was directed by one Norman J. Warren. On this one right over here. Of course, he's known for doing Satan's Slay, or Slave, sorry, Prey, Terror, and Warren is also known for sex comedies such as Outer Touch.
Weird. Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah, there you go.
But I could see that.
Yeah. So this one was also starring a young Judy Geeson. All right. She is probably known for The Executioner, 10 Rolling Places, some stuff they did in the 70s. Apparently she was also in Rob Zombie's The Lords of Salem and 31. All right.
Did she play one of the witches?
Yes.
In Lords of Salem? That's what I figured.
Yeah. And I think she was, in this film, she was, hold on a second here. She was Sandy. All right. So, a couple things. I thought some of this making of was pretty interesting. All right. So, apparently, after making Satan's Slave, 1976, and Prey, 1977, and Terror, 1978, Norman J. Warren was to have directed a film called Gargoyles. All right.
Okay.
After this production collapsed without a finished script, Warren and producer Richard Gordon took on a story idea from the husband and wife duo of Nick and Gloria Mealy. All right. who had supplied the special effects on Satan's Slave. The Millies wrote the film both as an element and their favorite science fiction ideas to showcase their effects work. Their script was indicated that the film is set 2 decades in the future in a materialistic universe, was titled either Doom Seed or Doom's Seeds. All right.
I like both of those titles actually.
Yeah. This was changed to Inseminoid to avoid confusion with the 1977 film Demon Seed.
Yes, which is a great movie, by the way.
So Gordon cast actors Robin Clark, Jennifer Ashley, and Mark and Holly while on business in Hollywood. Clark had recently played supporting roles in The Formula. There you go. Ashley had appeared in a number of independent films. Becken, who had 2 young children at the time, accepted the role of Kate to support her family. Recalling in a 2003 interview, she said, I had to choose between a play that I really, really wanted to do, which would have paid me 65 euros a week. There you go, brother. And this script for a film called Inseminoid. Hey, no choice. 2 pink babies asleep upstairs. No choice. There you go, brother. She wanted that. She wanted that wildness instead of the.
Exactly. I did want to say that Nick Malley, who wrote this with his wife, is more famous as a special effects guy.
Yeah.
He actually worked on Empire Strikes Back. He was one of the people who helped create Yoda.
There you go.
He built the puppet for Yoda.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that legacy is way more than what this movie's legacy was.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
So apparently the Shaw brothers agreed to supply half of the proposed €1 million budget and became partners in the production with elder brother Run Shaw.
Run Shaw, yeah. So I was going to bring this up months ago because we did another European movie that the Shaw brothers had produced or financed. And I forgot to mention it then, but are you familiar with the Shaw brothers at all?
A little bit. Some film I showed you. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, mostly I know the Shaw brothers as people who made like Hong Kong kung fu movies in the 70s, in the 60s, and Run Shaw is like probably the most famous of the Shaws. But I was surprised to learn, when we did the other movie, that they had branched out to do like Western movies as well. I did not know that. So, but it's kind of cool to see Run Shaw, who produced this as well, or financed it, whatever you want to call it. I think that's kind of cool. But, yeah, I love the Shaw Brothers films.
Yeah, apparently they were pretty prominent for a while, but I don't think they're in existence anymore.
No, I think they're all past by now.
So it said Inseminoid was shot in CinemaScope. All right. Warner remembered that this format produced an incredibly sharp image and what I would term has the American look. There you go. It looks American, brother.
Yeah, like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because scope is like the wide format.
Yeah,
so
wide
I don't know
ones,
if people out there know, but if you're watching a movie in a movie theater, or on television really, but in a movie theater specifically, if it's long and rectangular and wide, it's in scope. And then when I ran projectors back in the 90s on film, we called it the other format flat, but it's basically more squarish, like you bring the curtains in. Scope is wider and it gives you more of a view. If I can quit hitting my microphone, I want to do this thing with my hands, but it's I don't know how to describe it. It gives you a wider view, and it's good for space movies because you can see more space.
Yeah, you can see more of the aesthetics. That's what they were going for anyway in the movie. Anyway, they were going for showing off their special effects.
Yeah, exactly.
They do so well. So principal photography began on May 12th of 1990. I was exactly 0 years old.
You mean 1980?
1980, sorry. Yeah, 1980. I was a negative 5 years old at this time.
You were.
With a crew of 75 people. The production spent 3 weeks filming in the, I'm going to fuck this one up, but it's the Chislehurst Caves in Kent, which served as the tunnels of the underground complex. This was followed by a 1 week studio filming at Lee International Studios. All right. So most of the stuff all took around, place around London. Warner said that given Insomnia's low budget, filming the underground scenes in actual caves produced a more realistic result. I thought it looked all right.
Well, yes. I think it looked pretty good. Like British movies and TV shows, infamously film in quarries a lot for alien planets.
Yeah.
So like I could see that here too. This was filmed in a cave, and that's, you know, it looked pretty good. I thought the parts where they were in the cave part looked great.
Yeah.
It's just everything else that I didn't really care for.
So they did say though, however, with the cold, damp, and airless conditions inside the caves, compounded by the uneven terrain, caused numerous minor injuries among the cast and crew, as well as damaging the filming equipment. That's what you get. It's kind of like when they filmed the real shit on Jaws. You know what I mean?
Right.
You gotta work with the conditions, which could be a little tough. They're saying shooting often ran about 12 hours a time, and some of these presented developable intense feelings of claustrophobia in the confined space. Gordon felt that these uncomfortable work conditions made the actor's performance more credible. Yes.
I'm sure it did.
When we had the space guy getting shot and bleeding out, he was screaming to high heaven. So there you go. He said, I think all this paid off in terms of what we got on the screen for the budget, but the circumstances were very difficult. Due to the lack of space, all right, the crew were forced to set up their production office as well as a dressing room and makeup rooms in a car park some distance from the caves. As filming started to fall behind schedule, Warren was forced to cut some of the scenes of Ricky rampaging inside the cage. All right. Or
okay.
not cage, caves.
Caves, yeah.
Our boy Ricky, he was something in this film. 3 pages of script, which I had to condense it to one shot. Having to make such an enormous compromise was not a happy choice for me, but it was the only way of us getting back on schedule. In the end, the shot overran by 2 days. So it says also, too, the filming progressed, the working relationship between Warren and Clark broke down. Oh, some drama? Oh, you don't say. I think like 80% of these movies that we review, we always hear about drama. You know what I mean? So it says, according to Warner, Clark often refused to follow instructions. Did he do the "it don't work for me, brother"? Or did he do that one?
Yeah.
He often,
that was just, you're right. It don't work for me, brother.
He often insists to give his own He also gave his own vision of the script to a point where scenes were featuring him becoming an uphill struggle to film. Warren remembered that during presentation for a fight scene, he lost his temper with Clark. This is what he said. Robin kept on ranting and raving about his idea to the point where I couldn't take it anymore. So I screamed at him to shut up and keep quiet. I told him I was the director and we would do the scene the way I said. He was shocked. He just stopped dead. And from that point on, hardly he said a word. He put himself into place, brother. He was like, shut your cunt mouth. All right?
Yeah, just shut up. Shut your whore mouth. I'm the director.
I'm the director, bitch. So that's good. So Warren's report with the cast and crew was positive. He described Geeson as an absolute dream to work with and praised her performance, arguing that it was avoided being unnecessarily comic. Like, it wasn't really that fun. Like, he said he did it. She did a good job without making it seem like very comical.
Yeah, like,
which I thought she did pretty good.
I was about to say something like this could really be funny when you don't intend it to be, and I think she did a pretty good job of keeping it straight.
Yeah, definitely. Gordon was similarly impressed, saying that Geeson fully embraced the role of Sandy, did and not complain that it demeaned her as an actress. All right. Warren also had memories of Beckham's very professional performance, recalling that with tongue firmly in cheek, she would often wind me up by asking what her motivations for a particular action, just like about to call action, knowing full well that my answer would be because it's in the script. I love it.
It was booked that way, brother.
She's like, why am I doing this like this before we go on? It's because I booked it that way.
I booked it that way.
I love that. I like this guy. This director is cool, man. He yells at people and he tells them that's the way I booked it. So that's the way you're doing it.
Yep. Right? It's the way a director should be.
Exactly. I mean, you can't. I mean, listen, like, you know, I haven't really directed big films and big casts and stuff, but I've seen it done before. And you got to take control of some of these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like, someone will get egos.
Exactly.
It's kind of like wrestlers. You know what I mean? Someone will get like egos out there. They don't want to lose and shit. And you're just like, no, you're losing because that's what's good for the script. That's how it's booked.
Exactly.
You see this pencil? Guess what? It can't be erased. I wrote it in pen.
Yeah. The pencil job's nobody.
I know, exactly. So this is some post-production stuff. The film was brightened in post-production due to concerns that it would be harder to sell to television broadcasters if it looked too dimmy. which I agree.
Yeah, because TV broadcasters are going to buy a movie about alien sex and
of course
plastic babies.
Have you seen the Sci-Fi Channel? All right,
Well,
it'll get there.
True.
Cuts were made to be more graphic shots of Sandy giving birth to avoid the film being refused certification by our favorite, the British Board of Film Censorship.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they can even make horror films in fucking England.
Well, so I do find this weird, right? Like, of all the movies that we've talked about being banned in England, this was made in England and it was fine.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're having alien sex and
alien sex, and they had fucking gore everywhere and body parts. Even Sandy ripped open the guy's stomach, was eating it and shit. I'm like, all right,
yeah, but that was fine.
Yeah, and then we did have a little. I was kind of surprised we didn't have more tits because England and Britain, they're known for their nudity. Like they don't give a shit about that at all. But we only had one little tit scene on here. Very, very interesting. According to Warner editor Peter Boyle, had a natural feel for the material and managed to create just the right pace and rhythm throughout the film. The title sequence was produced by Oxford Scientific Films. All right?
No.
Then apparently, I don't know, the soundtrack was pretty good on here. I mean, I didn't think it was anything like revolutionary or nothing, but it was all made by composer John Scott. All right? And let's see. So this one right here, when it came to the release of the film, all right, there was cuts being made. The BBC granted an X certification early in 1981. That November, it was passed. The film's uncut. In 1987, the film was re-rated 18 because times have changed. And in West Germany, cinemas began showing the film in January of 1981 under the title, well, I can't really read the German title, but it basically was called Seeds of Evil.
Sure.
The film was commercially successful in Europe, peaking fifth at the UK box office. According to Warner, it reached number 7 in France. All right. Let's see what we got here. So the film's UK promotion included regional advertising mail considering a flyer which showed a screaming Geeson at Sandy with the tagline, "Warning, a horrific alien birth, a violent nightmare in blood, Inseminoid at a cinema near you." That's funny. They don't do that no more. Give us little flyers in the mail to go see the movie.
No, that would be cool.
And of course, there was criticism of the film when it came out because people think it was copying Alien.
Well, I can see that. Yeah. I mean, I see it copying other things more, but yeah, I can see that. Everybody thought everything like this was copying Alien because that was the most famous alien attack movie ever at that point, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. So this is what it says on here. It says, despite a good box office response in the UK and abroad, Inseminoid failed to impress most commentators, like critics and shit, who criticized the effects and the production design. Even that's what they were going for, was the effects and the production design. The overall quality of this acting was also poorly received, although Geeson's performance was praised. Criticism was also directed at the premiere involving an alien insertion, which some commenters and reviewers, saw as a weak imitation of Alien. It says both Warner and 20th Century Fox, distributors of Alien, rejected claims that Inseminoid was influenced by the film because they were almost I could see it maybe being influenced by it, but they were so close of release of Alien and this one being shot that it's kind of like how they're supposed to know what's going on in Alien,
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it does have that, that I could see where everybody's watching. Like if you watch Alien to watch this one, there is parts of it that could be the same with having the pregnancy and the alien using the human vessel to go into like a different form of itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then they go down to an alien planet and get infected by something. Although they're kind of on the planet the whole time. Yeah.
And the only difference is with Sandy, when she was infected by the monster, she was the one killing everybody compared to the actual creatures who, when they got birth, they were just eating them all up. So
exactly.
But yeah, I mean, for a early 1980s science fiction horror film style. I thought it had some good parts to it, but yeah, like I said, the set designs and, you know, stuff like that they were criticizing, you know, I guess I could see that. Like, compared to some other films that we're going to get later on, like The Forbidden World, The Galaxy of Terror, you know, we're going to get Aliens, or we're going to talk about later on. This one is definitely going to fall a little short compared to the actual, like, set designs of the creative. This one was, like, more like your basic outer space normal plane designs. All right, compared to, like, the more of the Giger work, you know what I mean? The more of the James Cameron work that we'll see later on, a little bit more, you know, aesthetics to the backgrounds that we'll later see. So I can see that on there. But I say, let's get into the full review of Inseminoid, aka The Horror Planet.
Yeah.
Far below the surface of a sub-zero planet, hidden in the freezing mists, something is watching, quietly in the dark, biding its time until the right human comes along, and then it will strike. Not just to kill, but to do something far, far worse. Soon she's going to be a mother. And there might not be anyone left alive to witness the event. Inseminoid. A far from human birth.
All right. So we start off with some 1980s graphics. All right.
I love those.
By the way, if we didn't say, this movie was technically released in the UK of May of 1981.
Okay.
All right. So we're in that early 80s era. And you could definitely tell that, you know, like you were saying before, you know, the British filming and the US filming is a little different when it comes to their sci-fi stuff on here. And you could definitely notice if you actually put the movies back to back. But we start off on a frozen planet. Oh, you don't say. So we have about a team of 12 project archaeologists. 10 times, let me say that 10 times fast. And scientists are basically checking out the ruins of this alien civilization. They're kind of like a research team, basically. Oh, gee, does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
I don't know where I've seen that before.
No.
All right.
Nothing like that. Nothing like that a couple years before this.
Just call me a Fox executive. No, they had nothing to do with our film. You know what I mean?
It's completely different.
Right? Completely different. So now we're meeting some of the crew members and stuff. But basically, we kind of start off with the crew. They're kind of discovering this cave, all right, that has some it's kind of like wall markings of the ancient alien origins and stuff. There's some crystals of unknown origins around there. During one of their surveys, a mystery explosion cripples photographer Dean White.
Dean White.
There we go. That sounds like a jobber name.
It does, doesn't it?
The
guy that gets no entrance music and is already in the ring.
We have the Xenomorph, and up next, he's fighting Dean White.
Dean White. Local talent.
So he dies. He's like the red suit guys from Star Trek. He just dies early.
Yep.
And while this is happening, this injures our boy Ricky Williams. Now that is that's the WCW Mid-South Wrestling name, if I ever heard one. Ricky Williams.
Yeah, Ricky Williams.
All right. So basically, what happened was they didn't check the communicators, so that's why kind of like this stuff happened. All right. So after they got the markings and stuff, we now have Mitch. All right, they're talking to Mitch over there. All right, and then now he is basically theorizing that this civilization was built on a concept of delusions. I don't know if I said that right. All right. Which is
dualism.
Yeah, dualism is the belief that two fundamental concepts exist which often oppose each other. It is an umbrella term that covers a diversity of views from various religions, including both traditional religion and scripted religion. There you go. See? You learn something on Horror
Every day.
Planet.
Yeah.
Right, brother? Mm-hmm. You guys just thought you were watching some titties. Nope.
Nope.
All right. So the planet orbits a binary star and seems to have been ruled by twins. Discovering that the crystals are surrounded by the energy field, Sharon, the medical assistant, suggests that the civilization was controlled by a form of chemical intelligence. All right. So this is when we kind of meet the whole crew. All right. They have Mark. All right. He's kind of like the boyfriend guy of Sandy. We have Holly. We have Kat. Most of them just have all the roles, being archaeological teams on there. Mm-hmm. And we have Mark radio Sandy to distract her while Kate and Gary leave the control room to arm themselves with chainsaws. All right. So basically what's going on now is like they since this communication happened and one of the crew members dies, they kind of left Ricky out there, Ricky came back in, but he wants to go discover, all right, where Dean White went. He wants to go find his body. So they're doing all these tests and stuff, and eventually Ricky starts to freak out a little bit. All right, because something within his scratches is now taking control of his body and mind. All right. So Mark now radios Sandy to distract her while Kate and Gary leave the control room to arm themselves with chainsaws. Like I said, Sandy uncovers the ruse and harbors Gary's outside the airlock. Okay. So what's going on is Ricky is now running amok everywhere. He's throwing people down, destroying them, throwing them back at everything. And eventually they go out to the airlock. All right. And they're out there. And eventually we have one of the crew members get her foot stuck on the rail, and she has to chainsaw it off. All right.
Yeah, I was going to say that for a scientific expedition, they have a shockingly low amount of safety backups.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like because when she's about to cut off her foot, she's like, right before she does, she's like, "You're on your own. We can't get to you." And I'm like, "You have no way of getting to her. Like you can't.
No,
you have no vehicles, nothing that you can go and get her foot out of that."
No.
And she really gets to the point where she's going to cut her foot off very quickly. I'm not really sure why the tension was there. Like, I mean, I know her suit is running out of air or whatever.
Yeah.
But she's like seconds later, she's like, "All right, fuck it, I'm just going to cut off my foot because that's probably a better idea."
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine that she would bleed to death pretty easily. Plus, if she's locked in a suit and she cuts her foot off in the suit, is she not still like the suit's compromised? I don't know. None of this makes sense to me at this point. This seemed like just a way to get her out of this movie to me.
Yep. So that would be Gail. She removes her helmet and tries to amputate her foot with a chainsaw, but freezes to death in the planet's toxic atmosphere. Like you're saying, there's like no safety measures at all.
No,
you're just like, oh, you fuck up once out here in space, you're fucked. All right, too bad. All right. And
then she like opens up the visor on her helmet and just sticks the tube in her mouth to breathe, I guess.
Yeah, but it doesn't work.
But it's frozen. It's like the planet is frozen. I don't think they really illustrate that very well in the movie.
Yeah,
but it's supposed to be really, really cold, and she freezes to death essentially.
So we have, check out this job title. If you're on outer space, documentation officer.
Yeah.
So you just document
that. Yeah.
Just document everything.
She documents all these safety concerns that
they don't do at all.
That they don't do.
She was the one bitching about all of it, if you remember.
Yeah.
She was all like, "Y'all don't do the safety measure." And then one guy was like, "I'll tell you what I like to do to her, brother." So eventually she is the one who eventually stops Ricky from his rampage by shooting him with the Harper gun. All right.
Yeah.
Before he opens the inner airlock door and evacuates all the 8 bases' air.
Yeah, and I was thought this was weird too. Like, why are they mad at her for shooting him?
Yeah, no.
Because
They're giving her shit about
airlock door, right? The other airlock door is already open.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Well, if I didn't kill him, then what if he opened this airlock door? Everybody in here would die."
Yeah.
Plus, he's already illustrated that he's killing people. He essentially killed Gale.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, like, why are they got concerned about him? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, maybe
like, they know him.
They didn't want to pay out the pension plan.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe
life insurance.
Maybe he had a big life insurance plan. You know what I mean?
Work.
Yeah. And now, like, maybe because since he wasn't killed by a alien sex monster, maybe he won't get his full bonus.
Maybe.
So this is when we have Rick and Gale. They both are pretty much buried outside the base. And then now we're going to have Mitch and Sandy. They are going to do what every film does. If you're a science fiction film, we're going to go to the scene of the crimes.
Yes.
And collect more crystals, brother.
Right. To collect more artifacts. Or,
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Samples.
So this is when they're out there doing their thing. And a random creature just appears and freaking dismembers Mitch, which actually is a really cool scene. I give him that.
That is a cool scene, but you're right. Like, the creature just kind of comes out of nowhere. Yes. We never see it before. And it just shows up all of a sudden and kills Mitch and tears him to pieces.
So then this pretty much freaks out Sandy. And now she is in what I would like to call a Christopher Walken transporting scene. If y'all like the review, that will forever be stuck in my head.
Oh, that's a great review.
All right. Of that famous movie that he was in, Communication, I believe it was called.
Communion, yeah.
Communion.
Yes, yeah. The review for that movie was way better than the movie was.
So I for sure okay, you know when she was in like laying in the it looked like a tanning bed. All right, she was in there.
Yes, yeah.
And she's tits out, full naked, everything. She just wakes up and then she sees the doctor with the fucking thing. Brother, if that was Christopher Walken right there, I would have died.
That would have been amazing.
Like, he just pops
with his
in,
top hat or whatever, and
he starts dancing.
Yeah,
like
with the aliens,
with the little tube. All right. So then she gets an injection for the doctor, and apparently she's dreaming all this, I guess. So then,
is she though? That's the thing. Like, I think you're supposed to wonder, is she dreaming it or is it actually happening?
Yes.
One thing I didn't like about it is they don't explain where the creature comes from. They don't explain where she is. Like, does the creature take her someplace and then bring her back to the base?
I guess.
Like, it just shows her in this room where she's laying on the tanning bed and then naked, and then the creature has sex with her with a fake dick, basically.
Yeah. So, and I also thought too, okay, is the doctor in on it? Gee, where have I seen that before?
Yes, that too, because so right, but you see the alien, right, or the creature, and then when she looks at it again, it's the doctor, right, and then it's the creature again. So there's a scene exactly like this in Rosemary's Baby. I don't know if you've seen this movie, but or not, but there's a movie scene exactly like this where she's laying on a bed, and then she sees like a creature, like the devil is what it's supposed to be, I guess. And then
I love the cat right there.
And
he's laying
down. I was noticed this is his favorite movie. He loved this. And then you see like one of the characters from the apartment building, and then you see the devil again. So this is shot almost exactly the same way. So I wasn't sure at this point if the doctor was doing this to her or if it was actually a creature.
So then we get the hentai portion of our film.
Yes.
Some Japanese sex alien creature demons.
Tentacle sex.
And this one was all like, I guess a little tame. I guess because we cannot disturb the critics or the sensory board here in Britain, so we can't do any slimy tentacle dicks. But what we're going to do with her is we're going to get her a tube, and we're going to inject nuclear green alien semen into her body.
Yeah, through a giant tube.
And then she's shocked and aroused at the same time. And then she wakes up freaking all out. All right, and then she wakes up around the doctor and everybody in the room. She looks over, she sees the dead Mitch, and she starts freaking out some more. All right, and Carl is the one. He's the doctor. He's the one that. I mean, I thought he was going to be in on it, but apparently he wasn't. All right. So when they further underground explosions block off the cave, the survivors are left with nothing to do with the Xeno to pick them up. All right. So basically, they're kind of like stuck on this planet. All right.
Yeah.
So now, after a little bit of the film of going back and forth, making sure Sandy's okay, now of what is called the intelligence is now taking over Sandy, giving her superhuman strength because she stabs Barbara to death with a pair of scissors. Oh, where have we seen that before? Crockett wrestling.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? With Vader and Sid. There you go.
Yeah. Also, I was going to say that I think they mentioned that the ship that's going to come get them is going to take 30 days to get there.
Yeah, 30 days.
Or like a month.
Yeah, because that's the one we see at the end. All
yes.
right? So she stabs Barbara to death with a pair of scissors and mutilates Dean. All right, and the remains of Mitch. So basically, now that the intelligence has taken over her body, she's like to feed her monster baby. She has to eat flesh like a zombie.
Yeah, so she's like, she's tearing them open and eating the insides of them.
And they're drinking the blood too. So she's like a flesh-eating vampire alien monster creature vessel.
Yes.
Of doom. All right. So now the rest of the team is taking refuge in the control room as Sandy uses explosions to blow up the transmitter. Fuck. See, there's
we can't contact anyone.
There is no safety protocols for here or anything. You know what? Would be pissed off would be Picard right now. He's like, we don't got safety measures for demon sex or any creatures coming in here.
Well, if Picard had been in control, none of this would have ever happened.
Exactly. Oh, see, why can't they just? I mean, it's there. Star Trek is there, brother. All right,
it is there for a reason.
All right. Now, not Picard, but that was like the 90s, but you have the Shatner version. All right?
Yeah.
So after Sandy appears to return to her normal self because she's faking it, Carl and Sharon and Commander Holly McKay try to sedate her. All right? Try to calm her down. Because, she's doing the thing like the Evil Dead thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she's crazy, and then she's like, "Oh, help me, please! I need to be helped, please, please." Which I think Evil Dead always have done that the best. You know what I mean? When you have the demon take over, but then the demon tries to trick you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's like a new Evil Dead coming out too, so that should be.
I know. I don't know how I feel about that. We'll see.
Yeah. Did you like the last one? Or are we gonna go on a tangent?
I never watched it. I need to sit down and watch Evil Dead Rise. I never watched it.
Just on a side note, I thought that movie was pretty fucking crazy. I did not expect a lot of stuff to come out of that movie, but
all right,
it doesn't really have like the comedy of the other Evil Dead. It's more of a serious one. So now we have Sandy. She reverts her but then after she's trying to be sedated and stuff, she then reverts back to her violent state and she kills Carl and Holly and disembowels their corpses, which I thought. So most of the scenes in here were pretty brutal. You know what I mean? Like I
agree with that.
Like the one that she did with Carl was crazy. Like she like stabbed him and then like she like kind of took him out. Like so he kind of noticed that she, Sandy right now, she could handle the elements out there. Like she can like be like exposed to the atmosphere without having to wear any gear.
Right? But they still think she's normal though.
Yeah. And then like Carl's like freaking out and stuff, and then she eventually, and he's like doesn't know what to do. He's like, how's these saws? And he's trying to get her, but it doesn't work. So she like kind of like stabs him, and then she rips open his fucking stomach. I thought that part was pretty cool. All right. So So now Mark radios Sandy to distract her while Kate and Gary leave the control room to arm themselves with chainsaws. Now Sandy,
because that's apparently the only weapon. They have no weapons.
No
right?
weapons.
So the
no
only,
lasers.
They killed the one guy with a harpoon gun, which they have for some reason.
Yeah.
And now they're going to use chainsaws. Like they have no weaponry at all. Like no guns of any kind.
Yeah. You don't even have phasers.
No
Come on.
phasers. They don't have knives.
They don't even have 80s like 80s special effects coming out of their belly.
No,
right, come on.
nothing. So okay.
So now Sandy uncovers the ruse and harpoons Gary outside the airlock. No, sorry. So Sandy uncovers the ruse and harpoons Gary outside the airlock, breathing atmosphere to no effects as she kills him and feeds on his flesh. So she actually kills Gary as well. That's the one she ripped up with the stomach too.
Yes.
She then re-enters the base, and now she's giving some birth. Because that's what you do after you kill a bunch of people on space. You start giving birth.
Yeah, because she's because they mentioned that she's like 2 months pregnant earlier, and they're like, that's impossible, and they're like, well, apparently it's not.
No, got that alien. That alien seed works quicker. You know what I mean? No 6 months.
Apparently in
over
like
here,
a day.
Yeah, it's a day.
No, it's like a day.
It's a strong one in there. All right. So now Mark, which is basically the boyfriend, stumbles across newborns and leaves them with Sharon as Sandy blows open the control room and smashes the equipment inside. All right. She then uses another explosion charge to wound Kate and kills her. All right. So she got Kate over there. Finally, Mark overpowers Sandy and strangles her to death with a cable. All right. So he finally kills his woman.
This scene was hilarious. Like, it was so like choreographed.
Yeah.
Like for him to, because remember, he jumps through, or she comes through the door and he's behind the door and he's trying to get her with the cable and he like misses her the first time.
Yeah.
But it was so choreographed where he's just barely moving. Like, it was sold so terribly, but okay, that's fine. One take, that's good enough. So
after being devastated, he walks around depressed because he killed his woman. All right. Walking around. He then tries to return to Sharon to see that one of the twins is now drinking her blood from her throat.
Yes.
And then he comes face to face with the sibling.
Yeah, so now there's the twin aliens.
And then we got the twin aliens out there. All right. Now has been 28 days later. The Xeno shuttle finally finds the planet. And they're investigating the loss of contact with the team. They see that go ahead.
I was gonna say, and the captain is for some reason dressed like a cowboy.
Yeah. Well, duh. All right. What do you think we're doing over here, brother? We don't have fleet uniforms. All right. This is the Wild West out here in the freaking cold 1981 space. All right.
No, it's like the village people. Like, one guy's dressed like a cowboy, and the other guy's like a street worker or something.
Yeah, duh. So now they check out the base and all the ruins. They see some of the dead or missing bodies. All right. Then we have Coin and Rowe abandon the search for survivors, and shuttle pilot Jeff radios Xeno for clearance. Yeah, Jeff. Yeah, Jeff, brother. He radios Jeff. All right, for the clearance to return, because they don't see nothing there. There's no survivors. They're like, oh, this is fucked. So let's get the hell out of here.
Let's go back home. We've been here 5 minutes.
And then, of course, the final shots of our film shows that the two alien twin babies of alien and human origin have now snuck in the shuttle, and we will now see their devastation on the world, because we will find out that this was not booked for a sequel.
No. Yeah, I was about to say they stowed on board so they can go back to Earth for the sequel, which never happened.
Never happened. And that is the quick little recap of Horror Planet and Inseminoid. I thought it had some good parts to it, but overall, not as fun as the other two we did so far.
I will say that I would have liked it better if I'd watched it first.
Yeah, I would say
if I hadn't just watched Galaxy of Terror and Forbidden World, I think it was called Forbidden World. Yeah, I would have liked this better.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But it for what it was fun. But I don't think I would put this on my rewatch schedule.
No.
All right. But speaking of rewatch schedule, I would definitely put this next film on there, because we are ending the third annual It Came From Outer Space month with a huge episode.
Yes.
That we've been waiting to do for a very long time. Probably one of the most praised sequels, I would guess, of all time, especially when you come to the sci-fi genre. Obviously, continuing the legacy of one of the most praised, films of all time.
Absolutely.
Series of all time that's still going on to this day, because myself and Alison are going to be reviewing Aliens.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Ripley is back, brother, for more. All right.
This will be exciting.
Yeah, in that episode, we'll talk a little bit about the original Alien. Obviously, we'll do the full review and talk about some of the production on there. So it's going to be a little longer episode than usual. So we're going to have to find a good date and time to do it. But it should be very fun. And then, of course, on that episode, we'll let you know what we all have for July. All right. The good old July. So, but Alison, you got any final words when it comes to the horror planet on here?
I was just going to say that overall, I like this movie. I thought it was pretty good. It's not my favorite of the ones we've done this month or in general. And you're right. I probably wouldn't regularly watch this, but it's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah. I mean, come on. If you want to see some alien green semen insert into a hot blonde and then her eating people, what more do you want?
Yeah, well, that gives you all of that you need.
Huh?
There's no way you couldn't ask for more.
Yeah,
could not ask for more.
What do y'all want out here?
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? All right. At least it's better than Corbin trying to fight somebody at the screening. All right.
That's true, but
there you
that's
go.
kind of cool though. Corman's a badass.
He's a badass, bro. So, but everybody, J.H. Alison, James Kline. We'll see you all here next week for our huge episode talking aliens.
Aliens.